If there's one thing that I know for sure about the job search, is that you can do all of the research, you can ask all of the people, and you're going to get different opinions from each and every one of them. Because the recruitment process, the hiring process is still a human experience, no matter how much AI and the ATS applicant tracking system comes to play, which means we all have our own opinions. It's all subjective advice, which is why I like stats. I like to play to the majority, and that's why I wanted to dedicate an entire YouTube training to all of the key job search stats that you need to know. So stay tuned, and I'll see you on the other side. Why, hello there. My name is Sarah Curto, and I am the career coach who helps people find their dream jobs or get their next promotions, because I want people to be working less while making more money and feeling fulfilled and happy doing work that they love. I come here on this YouTube channel every single week with a brand spanking new training, really crafted at making your job search, your career development, your career change so much easier. So if you could drop a like below on this on this video to let me know that you've watched it. And then don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss a single one. Okay. We're just going to dive straight in. I have a lot of stats for you. Now, I should mention where most of this information comes from. A year or so ago, Randstad did a large survey. I'm talking like 2,400 or something, like over 2,000 recruiters and hiring managers across North America were surveyed on a variety of questions, and this is the stats. Now, in the survey, there was also room for them to put in like their own thoughts. So I'm also going to kind of make note of some of the ones that were great there. And if I'm using a stat that's not from that survey, I will be sure to let you know, because people throw around stats all the time. And I am guilty of it without kind of saying where the stats coming from. I'm definitely guilty of it. Okay, so this is a big one, probably the biggest one. The most common question I get about resumes: how many pages should a resume be? Comment below with what you think the answer is going to be, because I had no idea what to expect. Because I'm a big believer in a resume that suits you in your career. But if you were to go by popular opinion, what you kind of hear in the discourse, you would think it'd be one page. Like everyone is talking about, you need to have a one-page interview or one-page resume, or it seems that everyone's talking about it. So I was really curious to see what came out of this stat. And I was happy to see that I was right, and I would be here even if I was wrong, because it's super important to know this information. Because 71%, it's almost 3/4 of the 2,000 plus surveyed, stated that they like to see resumes that reflect the career level. So they were not tied to a 1, 2 plus resume. They did not actually care that much how long it was. They cared more that it had the appropriate amount of information. Now, the curious thing was only 8% wanted to see a one-page resume. So why are we spending all of this time on getting our stuff on one page to cater to that 8%? No. We're catering to the majority. And the comments were super interesting on this survey, because the majority of the employees that they felt a 2-page resume would be sufficient. But if a person needed to go on to 3 pages to make sure that their level of experience and knowledge and skills, that all of those relevant details that were needed, if that needed to happen, they wanted to see it happen. So finding what works for you. And if we were to do like a blanket entry level, if you're a new grad, a 1 page probably does. Like trying to stretch your stuff to 2 pages might be difficult. If you are in like a professional specialist level, management director, then the 2 pages probably make sense. And then when we get to executive, we can either have the 3 pages or we can have the 1 page. It's very unique and interesting. It really depends on industry standards and stuff like that. But 71% want a resume that suits your career. So that was amazing news. Okay, so no more stressing over that. Okay, question number 2, another one about resumes. On your resume, how far back should your experience go? This is a question I get a lot from people who have 20 years or 15, even 10 years of experience. And again, popular opinion seems to be stating that you should only have about 10 years of experience on your resume listed. And here is what the stats say. 55% say it's okay to delete previous experience depending on the relevancy and the redundancy and the type of work that was completed. Now, for management roles, they highly discourage this because they really like to see the career progression. Now, just over 50% of recruiters said they don't need to know graduation dates. So that's kind of like a flip of a coin. So if you want to include those graduation dates or not, I don't think it really matters either way. I will say a caveat from my subjective experience. I was trained that to question and to be suspicious if there was no graduation dates. It either meant they were trying to hide their age or they're trying to hide the fact that they did not complete their degree. And so if a position required a degree, I was less likely to call those individuals because then I'd have to ask if they finished it. And then I didn't want to waste my time. So that's just a little subjective caveat on my end. And then same with the experience. The way I like to do it is I like to cluster like the old experience where it's like 1, 2, 3, where you don't have any bullet points and you have your job title, your company name, the dates. If you want, you can even remove the dates, and then just line after line after line, if that makes sense. If that doesn't make sense, let me know in the comments, so that we're still capturing some of that pre-experience, but without taking up too much space. But okay, the next. Can you follow up after applying for a job? People ask me this, like, can I connect? Someone just asked me this literally yesterday. Can I connect with a potential hiring manager on LinkedIn before I've even gotten the job? The answer, according to the survey, is 75, 3/4, feel it is positive. They like it when they are contacted directly by the candidate after they have gone through the normal application process. Like, that was way better than I expected. And they appreciate that email that expresses interest. And they appreciate you showcasing your fit for the role in that email. And they're more likely to look at your application favorably because what they're seeing is that you go over and above. Now, there was a consistent but in those like comments. Do not ask for their input on if you did not get the position, what other positions you could be a better fit for. They do want to see you be more self-aware and for you to be able to figure that out yourself. In a networking conversation, you can have that conversation about the right home for you in a way that's more like getting their advice versus getting their answer. And that's what they like to see more. And it doesn't mean you can't apply to multiple positions. It's just, if you do, you're going to need to have an answer prepared in case they ask for a preference. So for those jobs you really want, you may not do this with every application, but definitely it's worthwhile to find the person, the hiring manager, the hiring manager on LinkedIn and then follow up with them. Okay, next stat. Speaking of LinkedIn, how important is LinkedIn really? Meaning, do you need to have one? Do you need to have it updated? Doesn't anyone look at it? So this is a different stat. This is from another survey, not really a survey, it was more like a study where they sent out 25,000 fake resumes out to jobs during a 6-month period, so over half of a year. So pretty good timeline, definitely a great N, like a great sample size, 25,000 resumes. And it found that if you had a comprehensive LinkedIn profile, meaning that you have filled it out, that you were 71% more likely to get an interview than those with bare bones profiles or no profile at all. 71%. Now, I was just seeing in the Career Professional Development of Canada Facebook group that I belong to as a career professional in Canada. And they were sort of debating even having LinkedIn on there. They think no one will even go on it. And I was like, no, 71% are more likely to get an interview if they have a comprehensive LinkedIn. And whether or not a recruiter is going to it, a hiring manager is probably going to go to it. So it's better to do it. And plus, LinkedIn has so many other benefits. Now, if you want to build a LinkedIn profile so that you can boost your chance of getting an interview, go watch this video up here. Okay, the final stat. Oh, this is a controversial one. Should you include a cover letter? Like, I know a lot of people want the cover letter to just become like the dinosaurs and be extinct. But, here are the stats. Okay, well, according to recruiters, only about a third of them read them. And honestly, that's higher than I expected because as a recruiter, I did not read a cover letter once. But the key one to me is the hiring managers. And about half, so it was just over 50% of hiring managers, not 51, just over 15% of hiring managers out there read them. But here's the big caveat. 75% of hiring managers expect there to be a cover letter. And if there's not a cover letter, they're less likely to interview you. Your resume has to blow their socks off. And here is why. They like the cover letter because it shows due diligence. It shows interest. It shows that you're willing to go the extra mile, which is all key things that hiring managers are looking for in the people that they are going to hire. So moral of the story here is don't spend an hour, even half an hour, customizing a cover letter for every single job application. Instead, write one engaging cover letter. Go watch this video and I'm going to teach you how, that you just need to tweak depending on the job. You're saving yourself some time, but still setting yourself up for success. And that's how we play to stats. That's how we play the stats to our favor. Okay, so the stats I covered off, just a quick overview, is your resume should be as many pages as it needs to be. And your experience can really, that 55%, it can really go, you can have it, you cannot have it. That's a personal preference. Same with your education. Definitely follow up on any job that you're really interested in. Have a comprehensive LinkedIn profile and have an engaging cover letter that you can attach to any job application without a lot of effort. Now, if you need more help with any of these things within your job search, then you know where to come to me as your career coach. I help people in the Find Your Dream Job program, really helping them kind of get through all of the noise out there and coming up with a job search strategy that works for them so that not only do they find a job, they find one that they really, really want. The link for more information is below. If you liked this video, comment below with what was the thing that you found most surprising. And I'll see you next week with another training. Have a great one. Take care. Bye. If you liked this video, then I invite you to join me in the Find Your Dream Job program, where you work less, make more money, and finally feel fulfilled doing work that you love. Find out more at www.sarahcurto.ca/CYLA. See you there.